Hey everyone, this is another video in my unofficial Fiat service series. Today we're working on a 1974 Fiat 124 Spider, and we're going to change the timing belt. Here I'm going to siphon out the coolant. It just needs to go below the top coolant hose into a little bucket here. I really only take out about a pint of fluid. Here I'm removing the alternator belt, really just to get to the timing cover and remove that to access the timing belt. Here I'm putting it into fifth gear so that I can use the engine to turn the mechanicals to top dead center. There's a little hole in this timing, in each timing gear, and you line those up with that little knob up there that I've painted black. I'm just pushing the car back and forth. And then I'm also going to check the timing mark on the crank pulley to make sure that's in the right place. Also, the auxiliary shaft right below this tensioner bearing, that has a little hole in it that needs to be at about 2 o'clock. This belt's a little hard, but it's probably okay. The car has pretty low miles on it, but it's probably been 4 or 5 years, so we're going to change it anyway. Here I'm taking the tensioner bearing off and then doing a little cleanup while we're in here. There's the new tensioner bearing, and the new belt just slips on, as long as you haven't moved anything. This belt cover's looking a little grimy, so I guess we'll side project that and clean that up. I'm using some high build primer after I cleaned it and sanding that down. I used 3 coats of high build primer and sanded it each time. Once I was happy with the finish of the primer, I wipe it down with some grease and wax remover. And then I use some Eastwood alloy wheel silver paint, since that's what I had. Here I decided to make some new bushings for the timing cover where the bolts go through. The other ones were mismatched in different sizes, so I made some out of aluminum. These are panel grommets that I got from Mcmaster Carr. I can put a part number in the description. The surface finish on these valve covers is pretty rough. So I have a little granite flat stone and I can sand this on that. Just get rid of some of those scratches. I got some round beads for my sandblast cabinet and I cleaned up the valve covers in there as well. Here I'm using the single overhead cam shim tool. I have the double overhead cam one, but I just can't get it to work as well as the single cam works for me. Little pry down with a screwdriver and you can get that tool right there and it holds the bucket down for you while you mess around with the shims. That round glass bead puts a really nice finish on aluminum. Alright, this is a couple weeks later and it's a really nice day out. It's about 55 degrees and so we're going to get these cars out. I need to bleed the cooling system on the Fiat and time the engine, and I just soon do that with the doors open and everything. So we're going to uncover the cars and get them fired up. So this is the first startup since probably sometime in early November. Here I have the car, the front end of the car is in the garage and the back end is out, so the front end of the engine is the highest point. And I'm getting the timing light out. Just double check things, although it seems to be running just fine. Now that that's sorted out, we can address this piece of weather stripping that's been bothering me for a while. I got a new one when I ordered the timing belt. Might as well clean up while we're in here. This is mostly original paint. This part right here is definitely original paint, and it's in remarkable shape. Nice and shiny.